Hi, I'm Vishwas. Welcome to the Excel Plus 2 channel, and in this channel we'll be exclusively dealing with accountancy subject. As you can notice from the screen, today we'll be looking at the syllabus overview of 12th standard accountancy as released by the CBSE recently, in fact in March 2021. So if I look at the document here, the link of which will be shared in the description below, accountancy class 12, 21 and 22. Now theory is for 80 marks and the remaining 20 marks is for project. So what is this project? It has been mentioned in this document in detail. So we will be concerning ourselves mostly with the theoretical part. I'll be touching upon the project work as well. We'll look into that at a later point of time. Now, one thing which you have to notice is the syllabus has been divided into two different parts, part A and part B. Now, part A comprises of 3 units. Which are those 3 units? Accounting for not-for-profit organizations, partnership firms and companies. So these are the 3 different units which are there in part A, and the entire syllabus, or rather the bulk of the syllabus I would say, is from part A, because if you look at the number of periods allotted for part A, it is 150 periods and the marks allotted for part A is 60, as opposed to part B, which contains the financial statement analysis of financial statements and cash flow statement. Those two are the topics which are there in part B, and those two will fetch you 20 marks. I mean, the total question paper will be for 80 marks and 60 marks will come from part A, whereas part B, that is cash flow and analysis of financial statements, mostly ratio analysis, will be for 20 marks. And even the periods allotted here is comparatively less, just 1/3 of part A, that is 50 hours. Then we have project work, which will include some project file for 4 marks and written test 12 marks and viva voce for 4 marks. This will be mostly like internal assessment. Now this, by the way, is for 12th standard. It is slightly different for 11th standard, by the way, and if you are interested in taking a look at that, you can just click on the link below. The document contains both class 11 and class 2 curriculum. Now, next, coming to part B, we have computerized accounting as well. So that is something which is there again for 20 marks. That is of course a choice. There will be an internal choice. One thing about the CBSE exam is there won't be any choice per se, but there will be internal choice in the final exam question paper. So if there are 5 questions, you as a student of accountancy would be required to answer all the 5 questions. Maybe in question number 5, there will be an internal choice between A and B subdivisions within question number 5. But apart from that, you won't get any choice. Okay. Then they have mentioned something about practical work, which we have already seen, which is very similar to our project work. Anyway, now this is the detailed syllabus. I don't think it is necessary for me to get into the details now itself, because when we take up these chapters individually, then we will be looking into these in detail. But if I have to just give you an overview, this unit 1 is financial statements of not-for-profit organizations, meaning organizations which have been formed not for the sake of profit but to do something else, mostly to render service. So we will be looking at how do we account such organizations. In plus 1, we have looked into proprietary concerns, and in plus 2, we start with this not-for-profit organization. And this is an important chapter because you will get at least about 10 marks from this in the final exam. Okay, 10 marks worth of questions. Now this includes various subtopics like receipts and payments, income and expenditure. These are one of the most easiest things in the entire syllabus, so it's not a big deal. Next we have the most important chapter in the entire syllabus. Why I say most important chapter in the entire syllabus? For the simple reason that out of 80 marks which is there for theory, 30 marks comes from this chapter alone, that is accounting for partnership firms. There are various subdivisions of course, and each of those subdivisions are as important as the other. Now in case of partnership, we have the basics of partnership, then we have the admission of partnership. That means you will admit a new partner, then retirement of a partner, then death of a partner, and finally the dissolution of the partnership firm. Lesson number 3, again very important, because at least about 20 marks worth of questions will come from this chapter, that is accounting for companies. Now, accounting for companies includes 2 specific parts, that is accounting for issue of shares and accounting for debentures. Both are there as part of this, and here I have to tell you that whatever you have studied in first year PUC will come in handy here, especially the rules with respect to journal entries. Many students by heart the journal entries. I believe that is not at all required, because if you have understood the concepts of accounting, the basics of accounting, or the basic rules of accounting as to how to journalize or how to pass journal entries, then this would be a cakewalk for you. That is chapter number 3, or rather unit number 3, which comprises of share capital as well as debentures. So that is with regard to unit 3. Then we move to part B, wherein we have analysis of financial statements. Now financial statements have to be prepared as per the Companies Act of 2013, especially Schedule 3. Now this is something which is new for you, because in the 11th standard you would have studied preparation of accounting statements or financial statements for proprietary concerns. Now we are doing the same thing for companies as well. Of course, advanced level problems will not be there. For instance, extraordinary items or exceptional items, all those things will not be there for you, but still you are expected to learn and remember the format as prescribed by the Companies Act of 2013, more specifically Schedule 3. Now, in the same chapter, we have accounting ratios, liquidity ratios, all these ratios, and part B of your question paper mostly comprises of these ratios as well. Then finally we have cash flow statement, and this cash flow statement has to be prepared as per the revised accounting standard 3, and we only look into the indirect method. If there is indirect method, there is direct method as well, but here our scope is restricted only to indirect method as prescribed by accounting standard 3. Now this is the syllabus, just 5 units, and you will have to study these 5 units. And as I said earlier, bulk of the syllabus is concentrated in part A and 60 marks, and part B will fetch you 20 marks. The rest of the syllabus is with respect to computerized accounting. It's again an internal choice, as I already told. Then practical work will also be there, and this practical work is something which is as per the prescription of CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education. Now which one should you choose, computerized accounting or just the part B? I would choose part B, because it's much more easier for me to get more marks. That's what I feel. Now what we'll do is we'll look into the sample question paper released by the CBSE board for the academic year 2021. So now general instructions are there. You can look at the question paper. We have 2 parts, part A and part B. There are 32 questions, and all questions are compulsory. When they say 32 questions, some of the question carries just 1 mark. For instance, they say question numbers 1 to 13 and 23 to 29 are very short type questions carrying 1 mark each. That's it. So that won't take much time. 1 to 13 and 23 to 29. Now from 14 to 30, or rather question numbers 14 and 30 are short answer type questions carrying 3 marks each. Okay. Then question numbers 15 to 18 and 31 are short answer type 2 questions carrying 4 marks each. That means we have 1 markers, 3 markers, 4 markers. Then question numbers 19, 20 and 32 are long answer type questions carrying 6 marks, and question numbers 21, 22 are long answer type 2 questions carrying 8 marks. So there is no overall choice. You have to come prepared for all types of questions, whether it is very short type, long, or long type 2 questions. With regard to the question paper itself, I would like to touch upon this topic, and then we'll move towards actual subject video in the next one. See, here they say part B, analysis of financial statements. You have an internal choice when it comes to part B. Either you can pick the question with respect to analysis of financial statements, which will contain questions with respect to ratio analysis and Schedule 3 form of balance sheet, or you can skip that and answer computerized accounting questions as well. So both these type of questions will carry 20 marks each, but whichever you are comfortable in, you can select that. I would definitely pick analysis of financial statements because it is easy to score marks there. Okay. Now, this was a very brief overview of the syllabus or the curriculum as prescribed by CBSE for class 12 accountancy subject. If this is your first visit to the channel, I would request you to consider subscribing to our channel, because this is a channel which is dedicated exclusively for accountancy topic of +2 as per the CBSE scheme. Thank you, and looking forward to see you in the next video.